Can't you see the feds watching? Do you think that your call logs are the only thing that they're clocking? I really try to keep to myself and keep getting caught up in all the hype. I hope the feds don't kick down your door with them weapons out. How y'all sounding like, don't you?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jordan Sather here on July 19th. I just got into Vegas a few hours ago. I am here for the MUFON Case for a Secret Space Program Symposium that's going on this weekend. And unfortunately, not here in Las Vegas to play. A lot of work to do. And I was going to relax tonight because it's been a long day of travel. But as I was looking at the news, I saw there was way too much stuff going on not to throw in a little update today. And I don't have my handy dandy whiteboard, but I'm still going to run through some stuff for you guys. So first and foremost, John McCain found out that he has brain cancer and he had an aggressive tumor surgically removed. So while he was undergoing the operation for that blood clot around his eye, they found a brain tumor, and CNN is apparently saying that he's going to have to undergo some chemotherapy and radiation to get it removed. Now, you're not going to be able to live in these new energies if you're living selfish, self-serving, evil ways, man. That's just the biggest thing to be aware of. The more you live that way, unconsciously, selfishly, service to self, like, your body is literally going to fail. You're not going to be able to live in these vibrations. So that's why I'm always saying, who's going to be next, right? Is it going to be George Bush? Is it going to be John McCain? Is it going to be Clinton? They're all not able to literally survive. And he's 80 years old. Granted, he's an old guy, but if you take care of yourself these days, you're going to be able to live quite an old life. My great-grandma was over 100 years old. I mean, it's very doable. But the primary thing that I'm saying here is that if you're especially a part of those evil elite, but if you're living those self-serving ways, you're not going to be able to enjoy the party here. So that's what I have to say about that. And then we have Donald Trump. Right? This was a huge piece of news that might actually be connected to that John McCain piece, but Donald Trump ends covert CIA program to arm anti-Assad rebels in Syria, right? And who's one of the biggest armors of the proxy armies in Syria? John McCain. So maybe while John McCain was undergoing his health issues in Arizona, Donald Trump saw that as an opportunity to make a move and end a covert gun-running program that McCain may or may not have been deeply involved with. So maybe those dots connect, but huge news there. And I don't think this is as big a news as people are seeing, is that this covert CIA program is ended. And we have the US and Russia obviously working together here with Assad for peace, right? Even in the alternative media, I see a lot of stuff claiming that Donald Trump is this war-mongering, another elitist, but I'm not seeing that, right? I'm seeing a lot of peace coming out of what he's doing. So let's hope that continues. Let's hope that's real. And next we have some UFO news. We actually have quite a bit of disclosures come out regarding UFO stuffs. And the first one is this big craft that was literally tracking the International Space Station just the other day. And you can see the saucer shape. You can see the lights along the bottom here in this picture that I'm showing. And this thing was tracking the International Space Station for a few minutes on camera, and then it phased on out. And quickly after this happened, it was reported on the Third Phase of Moon YouTube channel. And then right after that, of course, the mainstream media had to go into their debunking mode. And quickly on the Daily Star, which is one of those tabloid news outlets that the mainstream media uses to debunk stories real quick, to label them as weird and ridicule them, they said a gigantic alien mothership was filmed tracking, and it's all in quotes, of course, International Space Station in baffling video. And they called it, of course, according to bizarre claims. So not only did the Daily Star run that article, but we also had the Express.co.uk, which is another one of those. They always throw these things in their weird news section to put a debunking spin on it. And they said, revealed truth about alien mothership, more quotes, filmed, more quotes, tracking the International Space Station. And this was authored by John Austin. Don't know who that dude is, but he's the one that seems to write all of these weird debunking, ridiculing articles for the Express. So, you know, interesting names. writing these articles. So that was a big piece of news. I mean, disclosure's coming, people, and it's not only being pushed by certain factions on Earth, certain human factions, but many ET factions are pushing for this. So I don't think it's going to be years. Some people think, oh, it's still a few years off. No, I think we're very, very close, and this is just evidence of that. I mean, these things are going to get more obvious. This craft, this picture, it was very clear that it was some type of saucer shape. So not only are we going to see more obvious pictures and videos in front of the International Space Station, but it may be even in our own skies. So look up, people. Quit looking down at your cell phone devices. Looking in the sky every once in a while. Then on Fox News here, this is a big story that very surprised me quite a bit, that the Fox News would report that alien ships near Saturn, and ex-NASA scientists' claims of their existence. Now here's the important part, right? This was first reported on the Express, right? One of those tabloid outlets that often reports these things as being weird. Now what Fox News did was actually take this and then report it under their text section. So they didn't report it as being weird news, or they didn't put any ridiculing spin on it. They just said, hey, alien ships near Saturn, ? Ex-NASA scientists, a former NASA engineer at the AMS Research Center, they say, claims aliens are in our solar system. And they said Dr. Norman Bergrun, who previously worked for NASA, has made comments that UFOs are hiding in the rings of Saturn. And they mentioned the conspiracy theory channel Secure Team 10, which obtained Bergrun's comments that the alien ships have been here for some time. So what's really interesting, and this is a point I made in some other videos, is that, you know, Fox News definitely despised them a few years ago. Did not like them. I thought they were the worst of the worst, and they were. They were awful, but things can always change. Remember, it's not a black and white world, and Fox News has definitely been surprising me lately with some of the articles they've been putting out and the spin or lack thereof that they've been having on these articles. So it could very well be that Fox News has shifted or changed, or maybe certain elements have, positive elements have infiltrated in Fox News and putting out these sorts of articles, and that they're taking the mainstream tabloid articles that are trying to put a spin on it and actually getting people to try and seed their consciousness with seriousness about these topics. So big surprise that Fox News report that, and that made its way around, so it's very cool to see. And then another article that's kind of on the other end of it is this story that was circulating around. It was on Futurism, Science Alert, saw it on Business Insider, The Atlantic, and this story was about astronomers detecting a strange signal coming from a star 11 light years away. Now, and they even, on Futurism, they even headlined it Stranger Things, right? Interesting, Stranger Things. And in this article, they says, it's extremely unlikely that intelligent extraterrestrial life is responsible, but that possibility can't be ruled out, they say. And then they mention SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, which the SETI organization is a complete front that they're using. They say these groups are aware of the signals. So what this article looks like to me, that's been traveling around the interwebs the past day or two, is almost a partial disclosure article. So I mentioned Fox News, right? They're trying to get the full truth out. They're saying, shoot, aliens are already here. They're already around freaking Saturn. Well, then we have this article circulating around. It's almost like a half-truth article. They say, oh yeah, this strange signal, that might be aliens, it might not, okay? Do you see? So it's as if we have it's literally an info war going on in the media, where we have some articles coming out, it's like, boom, full disclosure. Some of them coming out as like a partial disclosure, or articles that could be used as a kind of psyop against the public. So these are very key things to discern when you're looking at mainstream media, and that's something I want to throw out there. That's another interesting article I saw in regards to the extraterrestrial topic and out there in the mainstream realm. Now I want to shift a little bit. I want to go into some, just kidding, one more UFO article. This one was another big one. This one was a congressman asking NASA if there's an ancient civilization on Mars. This just occurred yesterday, in that a Republican congressman from California, his name was Dana Rohrabacher, Bosher, probably butchered that, but is a Republican representative from California. He is part of the space subcommittee, and they actually held a panel in front of NASA scientists, and he asked a NASA scientist if it's possible there was a civilization on Mars in our ancient past. And this was quickly, again, ridiculed by a bunch of mainstream media. It was I'm looking at it on Newsweek here. I also saw it on I Fucking Love Science, which I fucking hate that website. It's the worst corporate science, dogmatic science outlet you could find. They all started ridiculing this dude for asking the question. But when you start researching the truth of the matter, well, there very well was a civilization on Mars in our ancient history. We can all speculate on the time frame of it, but yes, there very well was one there. And what's interesting is that a lot of people assume that everybody in politics is read in on the truth and they're read in on all the secrets and all that jazz, and they're just a bunch of dickheads for not telling us. That's not the case. A lot of people in political office are in the dark about a lot of things. They're not read in on the unacknowledged projects or the esoteric truths or the things like that. So what could be happening here is we have a representative who might have been searching around some conspiracy websites or just chilling on Reddit or something like that, right? And he's seeing some things and some dots are connected in his head. And he's like, holy crap, this makes a lot of freaking sense. And he's having the balls to go in front of NASA scientists and ask these questions. He's deadpan. He's straight-faced when he's doing this. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this happen in political office, is that people are going to start connecting the dots and taking these things with seriousness, again, actually not ridiculing it, taking it seriously, and having the balls to ask these questions to people and be like, what about Martian civilizations? What about secret space programs? What about, all this jazz? So I think that's one thing that we're going to see continuously occur more, is these things happen in politics, the truth seeping out, coming out, and then we're going to see a lot of other people try to squash those truths. So as we continue through these times, it's just going to get more blatant as to, again, who's for the truth and who's not for truth and not for serving others and helping humanity. They're all probably going to get brain cancer. But anyway, next we are going to go into some pedogate news. Now, Dennett Hastert, right? UFOs and pedogate. What else do we want to talk about? What other big truths do need to be revealed on this planet right now? Dennis Hastert was released. Now, if you don't remember Dennis Hastert, or don't know of him, he was the former Speaker of the House who was arrested and convicted for child sex abuse crimes. So when people who are unaware, more of the sleeper kind, are saying that Pizzagate or pedogate are fake news, that they don't believe that pedophilia is something that infects the highest office, give them Dennis Hastert as an example. Like, yes, it very well does. A guy who was the former Speaker of the House was convicted for child sex abuse. He was released today. His mugshot was released. Here it is. He ain't looking pretty, but let's hope. It's pretty sad. It's a very short sentence, but let's hope that others are very soon convicted and tried. Heck, maybe John McCain isn't even sick. Maybe he's on the run, right? That's something I just wanted to throw in there. Maybe John McCain and others are just on the run because he had the Mayo Clinic, and a lot of representatives actually speak for him. So, hey, possibility that speculated in my head earlier. Next, we have in Thailand, dozens of convicted human traffickers were convicted in a landmark trial. Huge trial in Thailand, and a few very high-profile people in that country were convicted. An army general, and I believe a few attorneys and some other people were convicted, at least 100 people, I believe. But what's interesting is that also what happened to Thailand just the other day was that the reputed dark web mastermind, his name was Alexandra Kazes, was found dead. He's a 26-year-old Canadian. He was the mastermind of the dark web that was called Alpha Bay. Now, in Canada, as a part of a multinational raid, authorities seized the servers of Alpha Bay on July 5th, and the guy, this 26-year-old who created it, Alexander, was arrested in Thailand, also on the same day, on July 5th. He was found dead just yesterday, hanging in his jail cell, suicided. Now, he might have actually committed suicide. Again, these guys, you literally can't live in these vibrations, you know, as such a self-serving sick person. So you'll start getting neurotic. Your physical body will start to fail you. Your mind will start to fail you. So he could have committed suicide. He could have just wanted to take his own life. But what if he was suicided? What if some people didn't want certain information getting out from his trial, from whatever beans he may or may not have spilled, and wanted to suicide him? Possibility. Again, you always have to look for the stories behind the stories when you're reading anything, especially in the mainstream media these days. So, couple interesting dots there for you to connect that was happening in Thailand. Dark web founder died. That's another story that I really didn't see make the rounds as much as I thought it should. I think this is a really important story. The dark web mastermind dead. So big news there. And that's pretty much it for tonight. Long video, but there's just a lot of stuff I wanted to cover. John McCain has brain cancer. Donald Trump ends covert CIA programs. A lot of disclosures going on in regards to extraterrestrials. I mean, we had a UFO track the ISS. Fox News saying some things, a lot of other mainstream media saying some things. We're kind of trying to see who's saying more full disclosure stuff as opposed to partial disclosure stuff, and a lot of pedogate news coming out there. So anyway, thank you guys. I'm going to get you guys a lot of good video footage this weekend from the MUFON Symposium, and then after that, I'll be back home in the Northwest getting to work on a lot of big projects I hope to talk to you guys about soon. So anyway, thank you all for your support again on PayPal, on Patreon, using the Amazon link. Any of you guys that have bought some of the shirts from my Destroying the Illusion store, I love all you guys and thank you all for your support. Peace.